Hi everyone, it's Cal. I hope you're doing well. This video is on the mother force. And when you finish going to the heights of the father force, you are brought into sort of the central chamber of the mother. You don't go there. You don't meditate to get there. You don't navigate the way to get to her at any time. She calls you. When you master the father force, she will come and get you. And you better be prepared for this, because she has full control over you. Full. The father force, you get there on your own steam. You are focusing the mind to connect to the father force, the web. And you take your energy and you go back to where you began. She is within everything. She is the most gentlest, deepest compassionate force and the strongest force out there. While he is the explosion, she is the implosion. She is the one that can do damage. He is the big smoke show. Yet he is the creator. Both of them have their individual attributes, and being grateful to both is definitely where you want to be. And in meditation, the way you get through the father force is through a focused mind, focusing on love, deep, deep, deep compassion, and repetitive daily prayer, asking to know the truth. Her force is everything. She is the entire cosmos. And when she calls you, she acknowledges you. She brings you to her. You can be sitting anywhere, just like I'm talking to you right now, and she can nab you. And she pulls you inward, and she acknowledges you, and you acknowledge her. You are brought to your knees. She is the ruler, and there is no doubt. She is the queen that runs this universe. Nothing is above her. And she is the softest, deepest, most loving, compassionate force ever imaginable. She is lighter than a feather, and yet she is the weight of the universe. She is the many that create the one. She acts in fluid as one unit, whereas the father are the many working together. The mother is the many that have merged together. It acts liquid. It thinks as one pulsing unit. It moves as one unit. And when you're nabbed, there's nothing you can do. You can't fight. There's nothing you can do. The universe is pulling you. And you are brought to your absolute knees, whether you like it or not. You are put in the kneeling position, head down on your knees, in space, because all there is space. This isn't really here. And you bow to her, whether you like it or not. And she acknowledges you, and she also puts a nimbus on your head. On the way to the Father, you earn the nimbus, and she gives it to you. She hands it to you like a wreath, like a laurel wreath. She puts it on your head through her thought. She's in front of you, and she summons the nimbus for you to crown you, and she brings it forth to the crown of your head. She comes to you in a form that you can accept. being born into a religionless, atheist family, I had no preconceived notion or ideas of God. So she came to me as she is, and she is the full darkness of space, the full darkness of space that controls the web within it. So all the stars you see out there are all being mastered and controlled by her. She comes to you in the way that you can accept. I probably would have accepted anything. She came to me as herself, the universe, and it looked like this. It looked like a black blanket in a black universe, so shades of gray, and it kind of came like almost like a Grim Reaper look, but no Grim Reaper. It was kind of like the shape of a human, and it was still fantastically large. And as you're there, your mind is her mind and her mind is your mind. And you know that this is the universe. And the ripple, when she comes up out of nothing, she rises from nothing. So you are on your knees and she rises into this shape that is a black blanket, like it's over a person. A large one, very, very large, but you know, we are so infinitesimally small that she comes to us in form that we can accept. So still large like a huge building in front of you. And as the blanket of her assembles, she is everything. And in a brief flicker, you see everything that she is, and she is the all. And as the blanket assembles the shape, you hear through your being the ripple of the universe. And it is incredible. And that is Om. That is Om. She is the Om through the universe. She is the universe. And the humility and the love is so overwhelming. And it is when you go to the Father First Force as well. We can't sustain, we are developing in order to be strong enough to sustain this flow of love through our being. Love is strength. Love is great strength. And beyond tempered steel, it is so strong. In it, nothing can break that bond. Nothing, there is nothing. That is the big strength. As you, after you are crowned, you are sent, how do I say this better, to the Father's house again on the hill, or it feels like that. You are sent through spirals, large spirals, and these spirals are like tempered steel. That's what they feel like. The strength is like unwavering strength. You have never felt so much strength in your life. It is incredible. And you know, as you're going through these spirals, you are going to the safe house on the hill, so to speak. She is beyond what any words can describe. The depth of her compassion is what her strength is. Compassion, love, deep compassion is incredible strength. A universe of this. She is the one that says yes to anything that you want. She gives you everything. She does not discrepancize. She loves the killer as much as she loves the victim. There is no choosing. She loves all without any kind of discrepancization. The father force is more justice oriented, more this for that. And it's not that he is judgmental, it's your being is balancing itself. Through all these incarnations, we are opening our hearts and letting go of any judgments we have. And I can tell you, I've noticed in this life, especially in the last few years, that any judgment I have, it seems like things are really speeding up. Any judgment I have of anybody or anything, I find myself in a situation where I'm bringing forth the same action that I had previously judged. Does that make sense? If I have judged somebody waving a baton, waving a red baton, I will find myself in a situation down the road where I'm waving the same baton and doing the same thing. And therefore, I understand. And so it's the law of cause and effect. It cancels out that judgment here through the doing of it and the understanding of it here. It brings the circle to completion in thought. And when you empty your mind out with all this judgment, the energy flows better. And the more the energy flows, the more it is pressurized to the center, and the stronger the force, larger the connection here, larger the connection here. So father and mother connection, stronger as the more you let go. And I know that's easy to say, but even after all this transcendence, and I did a lot, it's the one thing I happen to be very good at. After all of this, I find myself coming back, and I am going through the motions of centering my body and mind now, letting go of all these judgments, conditions, and ideas that I had previously held as a resolute part of me. I find myself making all sorts of commitments that I would never have made before, and arrangements that I would never have previously made before, and thus in doing so, again, the circle comes to completion in thought. And that means I free up more space to align more and to have a stronger connection to the two forces that made me. And of course, this is happening to everybody else on the planet. I am Jane, so, and I'm doing what everybody else is doing. I'm just doing it at high speed. So, the mother force, completely spectacular. In meditation, after this, if you continue with meditation, and I continued, I went back and I did many more things until I completely exhausted myself, and then I just had no desire. The desire just, pretty much the desire for almost everything just drained out of me. When you know the truth, that will happen, and that's a concern, because it's our desires that keep us fueled and keep us going. So you do want to have desires. If you keep going in meditation, you will be presented with greater and greater and greater and greater challenges, and you will become that much more connected, and your body will become stronger, and the flow will become faster, And this is a world to get addicted to, no doubt about it. If you think there are any highs in life, like sex, drugs, I mean, those are the two big ones, right? And then all these other things in life, forget it. Going to this world is really where you can max out. And I mean, you're maxing out with really big natural highs. There is no drugs involved. It is all natural, and it is nothing but wow, wow, wow all the time. And it is in itself a massive addiction. I came back. I'm a single mom, had a daughter. I came back to try and insert myself back into real life, which isn't real at all. It's the facade. Yet this world, when you get out there, you will know why those monks that are living up in the Himalayas or around the world in very quiet places, why they're smiling, because this is the big addiction. The big addiction is God. Know your source, and you are that, and that is you. And you are becoming that, and it is already within you. So, so that's the mother force. The mother force is the big force, and she will continue to test you to see how far you can go. The father force is where you're headed, and then after you serve infinity, however long you want with the father force, you will die into the mother force. And of course, the cycle is always starting. Parts of you, inside of you, are the same thing that's happening in the universe is happening inside your body. You are a mini universe, and everything inside of you is dying up and being reborn, yet it is still a part of you. And you, the more you align your mind and body, the more you help all those things cycle the way they are supposed to properly cycle in your body. And you know, when your mind and body aren't aligned, when you are experiencing illness. And there are, of course, many natural ways to get into mind-body alignment. Of course, just practicing quietness every day is one. Meditation makes you really strong if you can stay with it. But of course, food, exercise, and all these other things that are out there to help you become strong and healthy, to help balance you out, they're important too. I mean, I wasn't eating taco chips and meditating. I was eating massive green food and exercising like crazy and meditating for huge copious amounts of time. I was up to 14 hours a day, and I would have gone deeper, longer, stronger, but like I said, I had a daughter that I was dealing with through a few hours during the day. So that was my life as a mystic, and it's fantastic, and I will go back to it. I'm starting the process now. It's a slow process. I'm doing many things right now, and that is writing a book on mind-body alignment as well, a natural one. So that's just what's going on with me, but I wanted to give you this video on the mother force so you can know what to expect as you migrate through great heights of meditation. And so that when you face that part when you're asked to die, and I wish somebody had told me, you know it's safe to die. You're going through a door. And within the body, there are, not to change the subject because the both are interrelated, within the body there are many secret doors, and they are all activated mentally. And every time you die to something, you get the flush of energy. And of course, this is a really big topic, talking about the art of sacrifice. That's what the dying is, the art of sacrifice. And that is what happens when you're on that threshold, and you can have the knowledge you're seeking, but you have to die to get it. So it is, again, the art of sacrifice, and you sacrifice yourself for the knowledge, and then you're reborn into a higher state of being. And that's happening all day long in your world in what you will see as tiny ways. And then there are, of course, medium ways, and then there are larger ways, and then there are really big ways. And this sacrifice happened in large ways to me in life, which I won't be talking about. It was just too massive to really get into a discussion about this. But when you do get to the higher thresholds in meditation, die as much as you can, because you will garner greater and greater riches. And the only riches worth having are the riches of knowing truth. And that's it. So there you have it. There's the Mother Force. And of course, there's lots to be said about her. She is the one that's saying that all of this life thing is a big go. And you come from her, and you go back to her. After you develop yourself, you go into the Father Force. You become a very super strong protein, serve in the body of the mother, and die back to merge with her, just like proteins do in the human body. It is a system that is mirrored, our body and minds mirrored to the system of the circle. And this is all part of the paper that I'm writing on the sacred science. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope this helped you in some way in meditation, if any, to trust and to not worry when you get into those higher realms. Everything is there for you, and everything is fantastic. So thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye for now.